Welcome back, everybody. Well, that says it all right there. Congratulations to Hungary on voting for the death of your country. Yep. We have to stay vigilant, people. Let's see what kind of retardation is happening in this world today. Like, subscribe, share it. I appreciate it.
So Hungary had a huge election and everyone is celebrating. And you know who else is celebrating? George Soros, Hillary Clinton, Justin Trudeau, von der Leyen, that little troll that runs the EU. They're all celebrating. They're like, yay, Hungary is finally going to join the EU. And I was like, wait a minute, who did they elect? They elected a guy who shits his pants because he's such a huge alcoholic that he used to beat his wife and kids, whips out his ding-dong in front of their children, and microwaved a puppy in front of his entire family.
Sounds about right.
Congratulations, Hungary, for being retarded. Oh my gosh. It's like you look to Canada and the rest of Europe and you're like, hold my beer, watch this. If you don't believe me, let me just show you. This book is written by the ex-wife of the new leader of Hungary, and it's called 16 Years with a Monster. He, in front of the children, and then, one of our puppies in the microwave right in front of our eyes, and the children needed psychological help afterwards. The kids in question, the puppies in question, and a video of him shitting his pants in a church because he's so drunk because he's an alcoholic. Congratulations, Hungary.
Oh my lord.
So let me get this straight. You look to Germany, who right now is tabling a bill to basically ban conservatives from buying homes. I'm not even kidding. The Nazis are coming. Oh no, wait, they never left. They just changed.
Yeah, and in New York, white people are going to be taxed more. Unfreaking real. And even Canada, you can't leave the country anymore. You have to pay them to leave. And New York, they're suggesting that too. You get all these failed places, you can't even escape from them. They're gonna hold you prisoner. Communism, everybody.
Their flags from like brown and gold to rainbow colors and call themselves liberals. New proposal include granting local authorities the right to stop individuals deemed anti-constitutional from purchasing real estate in their municipalities. And if you're like, how are they going to do that? Oh, don't worry. The Nazis already have a call line. And in that call line, they're going to be like, are you hiding the unvaccinated in your floorboards? Just kidding. They're going through all your social media posts. And if you have said something like, hey, you guys are a bunch of liars, apparently that's deemed anti-constitutional because, fuck free speech. It's Germany. It's Nazi land. And the liberals are ruling, which are the Nazis. So, yeah, isn't that awesome? Oh, but it gets even better because in London, their mayor, sad little Dick Khan, has decided instead of banning SUVs, because apparently they're causing a safety issue, he's just going to charge people more for having SUVs. London Mayor, sad little Dick Khan, is considering charging SUV drivers in the capital after Transportation for London research claimed they created intensifying risks across London. SUVs dangerous? Muslim gang rapes? Fine. And Hungary looked at this and went, yeah, seems good, right? Congratulations. R.I.P. Hungary, though.
The future is here. They will not stop messing with your medicine or your food, people. And the media has got you all totally messed up.
Hey, this is a farm boy. I'm in the flower section of the grocery store. I wrote up something, a whole bunch of somethings. When it comes to flour, things are changing in the world. Have you ever heard of cricket flour? There are at least 6 or 7 countries in this companies in this world that's now using crickets, insects, to make flour. According to Dover's, PepsiCo is looking to use cricket proteins in products such as Cheetos and Quaker granola oats. Insect Gourmet says insect-related businesses in the Western world are producing insect proteins for foods, beverages, confectionaries, and other things such as butters, oils, and pestos, as well as spice and seasoning. So it's most likely going to show up, not be labeled, and you're not going to know it. In pretty much everything you eat. It is expected to reach $4.6 billion in sales by 2027 and produce 1.4 million tons of insect protein. ADM, Archer Midland Daniels, is in the process of producing insect foods in Decatur, Illinois right now in partnership with Innova Foods. That's on the ADM website. Exo, which is a company that makes cricket flour, says that crickets are 60% protein. However, Iowa State University etymology department says that crickets are only about 12.9%. And this would explain why the NIH, when they do their comparisons of protein levels in cricket flour, they compare them to plants, not animals. Cleveland Clinic said that about 30% of the cricket farms looked at have parasites that carry disease to humans.
Oh.
And that edible insects are as underestimated reserve of human and animal parasites. Yep, Cleveland Clinic said that they are an underestimated reservoir of parasites to humans and animals. According to the NIH, it is stated that they claim that the exoskeletons, or the chitin, is a digestible fiber, but they don't know how it digests. I found that more than just a little curious.
Believe the science.
And then turn around and say that if you consume chitin, well, it'll trigger immune responses in the body. According to Science Direct, this cricket flour has all the markings for high levels of detectable arsenic. The NIH says that novel foods such as crickets show presence of arsenic, aluminum, cadmium, chromium, and mercury in all those edible insects. This is a farm boy. That's what's going to be in our food supply soon. You need to get used to it.
Holy crap. You just can't trust these people on any level. Just any level. Oh, man. Oh, I love this kind of topic. Paying taxes. Income tax. Guess what, people? Income tax is voluntary. Only a certain group is supposed to pay income tax. I did a video called the Federal Reserve a couple videos back. Check it out. Whole long video. A smart woman. I forget her name. Sherry Jackson, I think her name is. Used to work for the IRS, and she tried to look for the laws that said you had to pay income tax, and she couldn't find it. She could not find it. And there's a reward to anybody, a $50,000 reward to anybody who can find where income tax is. You have to pay it. Nobody can find the law where you say you have to pay income tax. Nobody. That reward is still out there, I think. So yeah, check this out. Income tax. It all came in 1913 with the Federal Reserve. Opened up the gateway for the government just to start lending money. And think in 1972, when they got the gold standard off of money, you can just print money like thin air. Just boom, 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 boom.
As we all know, that our U.S. tax system is a voluntary tax system, and we depend on people willing every year to sit down, fill out that form, and pay their appropriate amount of taxes. So I really think enforcement is a reward to those who voluntarily comply. And I think if the public does not see that the IRS is enforcing the laws, we're going to be at risk of losing people continuing to voluntarily comply.
Okay, so I want to explain this. How could taxation be voluntary for some and mandatory for others? Allow me to explain. As we can see here, right here in the tax return forms and instructions, it clearly states that the tax system is based on voluntary compliance. What does that mean? And if you go to the IRS website, look at their criminal investigation reports every single year and go search for the word voluntary. And you'll see they'll tell you compliance with the tax laws in the United States depends heavily on taxpayer self-assessment of the amount of tax, voluntary filing of tax returns, and remittance of any tax owed. This is frequently termed voluntary compliance. Once again, the integrity of our tax system depends heavily on taxpayers' willingness to self-assess taxes owed and voluntarily file tax returns. Now, I don't want to overwhelm with information, but there's no such thing as an income tax, really. Everything you pay to the IRS is considered as a gift or bequest to or for the use of the United States. And if you dive deep into the law, you'll see that this is printed over and over and over and over because they have to properly disclose that everything you think you pay in income tax is a gift or bequest, and a gift does not need to be returned. Now, why does our tax system depend so heavily on taxpayers self-assessing the amount of tax that they owe? Because all along, you've been allowed to report all your income on your taxes, but declare it as non-taxable. So this is a Federal Reserve note. This is America's default currency. We all use this, we get paid in this, and when we buy groceries or gifts for family, this is the type of money that we use. And think about it. Since this bank, the Federal Reserve, prints this currency, they make your life easier, right? They do, and they know that. So at the end of the year, they charge everybody a service fee or convenience fee for using the bills that they print. That convenience fee is called income tax. Every Federal Reserve note that gets printed into circulation becomes an obligation of the U.S. government to pay back directly to the Federal Reserve Bank, which is a private corporation. And Uncle Sam passes the bill to us. Paying off this national debt to these Federal Reserve bankers is the sole and only reason why we have an income tax. Now, this is 100% legal, and rich people do this every year. You're actually allowed to opt out of having to pay the service fee by demanding that your income be treated as United States notes, the older kind of money that used to be in circulation until the 70s. This may sound a little bit complicated, but by default, our money is taxable because it's Federal Reserve currency.
Yep.
You actually have a choice every single year when you file your taxes to demand that your income be treated as non-taxable notes issued by the U.S. Treasury. So this is what makes taxation voluntary, because all along you could have been filing your taxes, reporting your income as taxable, like 99.99% of uninformed Americans do, or you can declare your income as non-taxable, like the 1% do. Both of these are legal. The IRS will accept either tax return, but they want you to report your income, calculate what you owe, and pay what your bill says. You can simply use 12 U.S.C. 411 to have a $0 tax bill every single year. Now, this process works, and I'm telling you it works because I went through it as a client. When I did this process, I had $8,351 that came out of my pay during the year. When I filed my taxes with this process, I didn't just get back that $8,300. I actually got back $8,516, more than I ever paid into the tax system. I actually got paid a bonus in interest, an extra $160, because I'm not a taxpayer. I'm tax exempt. All that money that I gave to these people was a loan. And when you file with this process, you call that loan in due, you get 100% of your money refunded. If you don't get 100%, you'll probably get something like I did, 102% refund. Now, you can do the same thing. Being tax exempt is not just for the rich and the wealthy. I'm a regular person who used this process. Go to Taxpayer Shutdown 2025, watch the full video, register for the live workshop every Thursday, get all your questions answered. These people have CPAs that'll file your taxes for you with this tax exemption process. I'm only telling you this works because I'm someone who did it as a client, and I want people to know that this is the right way to do it.
We rely on voluntary compliance for our tax system, but we have systematically undercut the ability of the IRS to deal with voluntary compliance.
I'm just going to show you the first few seconds of this clip here, but the point is very clear. Put your money into crypto. Your countries do not love you. Your dollars are crashing. Canada, especially. Carney is doing what he does best, destroying your country. He did it before. He's going to do it again. That's his job. He works for the WEF and big corporations. It's their job to destroy us. Get out of the system. Don't use their money. Don't use their system. Get into crypto. You make more. It's like your own bank. You be your own bank. You make more interest on your dollar. The bank is fighting right now, so you don't get that. Screw the bank. Put the crypto in your own personal wallet. Make the interest that you want to make. Change your life. Screw them over. Here's just a taste of what the future is going to be like for you.
Global Reserve bankers are voting on Canada and Mark Carney. And guess what? They're dumping Mark Carney. Mark Carney's own group of peers, Global Reserve bankers. A report has just come out that was put in the Canadian Financial Post that talks about how all the global bankers are dumping the Canadian dollar starting in last quarter. Not last quarter, all of last year. Last quarter, they dumped over $35 billion in Canadian reserve currency. Over the course of the whole year, they dumped over $50 billion of Canadian dollars. Where did some of the money go? A lot of it went to the U.S. and Trump. People are betting on Trump and trade with the U.S.
I want you to realize all your money is going to this. Whether you believe it or not, your money pays for this. We are all criminals. I'm disgusted. If you want this future to be this crappy, just keep voting the same way you're voting.
Over the weekend, the U.S. and Iran negotiators left Pakistan without a deal. And as that happened, Israel stepped up its bombardment of Lebanon. Strikes continued and multiple cities continue to be hit. The death toll continues to climb. Well, official numbers put the death toll at 2,055, with more than 6,500 injured in Lebanon. And now there is a new concern tonight about how these latest strikes are happening, because multiple reports now show a pattern of what are known as double tap strikes, meaning you hit the same location twice. You bomb it once, and then you wait, and you bomb it again after first responders arrive, Lebanese officials say that medical teams and ambulances, even rescue workers, are being targeted.
Wow.
Let that sink in. The people running toward chaos to help the civilians, the women and children who have been bombed, are now becoming targets themselves. By the way, these are active war crimes. And then there is the city of Cana, the ancient city known as the place where Jesus performed his first miracle of turning water into wine. Well, we told you last week, most Americans have no idea that this important biblical site is in southern Lebanon. Look at the video on your screen here. This weekend, that city was reduced to rubble. At least 11 people were killed, and locals are calling it a massacre. Elsewhere, we're also learning that Israel bombed the shrine of Simon Peter, the apostle of Jesus. This is in the city of Shammah, also in southern Lebanon. It's a sacred site that stood for centuries, and now it's being reduced to rubble. A 900-year-old adjacent castle was also destroyed. And as all of this happens, millions around the world mark a holy weekend. Over the weekend, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu toured the front lines, making it clear that the war in Lebanon is not winding down. And that message, it lines up with what we're seeing. It's clear. Israel has their eyes on expansion, on this greater Israel.
Fuck Israel. Fuck them. We should just, while they're all in one place, we should just nuke the fuck out of Israel. That's what we should do.
They're now talking openly about a deeper security zone inside of southern Lebanon. And that means pushing further and staying longer. And then this detail. Have you seen this? It's raising a lot of questions. Apple Maps has now removed the village names in southern Lebanon from the Maps app. Not some, not a few. Look at this. All of them. No explanation, no clarity, just gone. Dozens of cities and towns, according to Apple, simply do not exist. Maybe that's the exact point, because that's exactly what Israel is doing. They're wiping this part of the Middle East out of existence, planning to take it for themselves. And all of it in just over a month. Again, tens of thousands of homes have been destroyed in Lebanon. Over 2,000 people have been killed, hundreds of children among them. And still tonight, those strikes continue. So while diplomats this weekend were telling us that they were focused on peace, on the ground, something else entirely was happening. The map is changing, and it's happening in front of all of our eyes.
The whole system is run by these select few crazy people.
This is a picture of Barack Obama at summer camp, Interlochen summer camp, and directly above him is Jeffrey Epstein. Now, why is that interesting? Because those aren't the only two famous politicians, famous people that went to this summer camp with Barack Obama. These people all grew up together. Okay, there's also Bill Barr, Jim Jordan, and John Podesta. So I find it a little interesting when people say, oh, we live in a free country, you know, we get to pick our presidents, we choose who we want to lead us. Yeah, chances are we don't. I mean, let's dive a little deeper into Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein's wife is Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell's father is Robert Maxwell. Robert Maxwell owns a printing press called Pergamont Press, which is where, in America, we get all of our school books from, all of our learning from him. So, wow, isn't that just weird? Why are we getting our school books from Mossad agents? All right, we need to start opening our eyes and connecting the dots. These politicians are not here for you. They're here for themselves, and they're here for their mission that they're on. And their mission is not to better you. It's not to make your life better or easier. It's not so that you can become enlightened. They don't care about you, okay? No. This, ladies and gentlemen, looks a lot like a CIA type picture. You know, all the boys hanging out at the CIA summer camp. I mean, that's just my opinion, but give me a break. These people were friends as children, all right? They all grow up in it. They all grow up together. It's all intertwined, and none of them are here for you. This is why there are two giant fasci as a backdrop for the House of Representatives. Remember that. Maybe look into it. If you want to learn about symbols and about what's really going on in the occult world, which just means hidden and secret, go to my website where everything is for free. I love you all so much, and this is my opinion.
A lot to take in there, but we all see that everything is controlled. You will all let this happen. How do I know? Because you let everything happen. You let 2020 happen. They are eating babies. And you've done nothing. So we're screwed. Yep. We are totally screwed. You people will do nothing. Our future is going to be just like what this guy is saying, and you will do nothing about it. How do I know? 2020 lockdowns. You did nothing. Yep. You believe the government, believe the science, right? You believe psychopaths, right? And they're eating your babies, and you've done nothing.
The 15-minute cities is something that the WEF has created called C40, and it's called C40 cities. I would urge you to certainly look on the internet about it, and then go to all of the TikTokers and see what they're really saying. Basically, you won't be able to drive a petrol or diesel car anymore. You'll have to buy electric. If you want food, you will get a calorie-controlled system sent to you by text saying, this is what you can eat today. This is what you can have today. If you violate any of these things, they'll freeze your bank account. That is the next step. These are stages in which they're going to implement this stuff. And this was signed up by the WEF, and the WEF has signed up with our mayor in London as the chair. And he has gone around the world to communicate this C40 to all of the countries in the world. And most of the countries are looking at adopting it. Now, I am going to abolish it. It is a hopeless position. We are going to be in an open prison, or shall we say a COVID, for the rest of our lives. We will not be able to work unless it's in our 15-minute city. It's diabolical.
Yep. And you think they won't do that, right? You think that they eat your babies, but you think they won't do that. Wake up, everybody. The real enemy is in our freaking midst.
يمثل أخطر أنواع الإرهاب وهو إرهاب الدولة. هذا ما يمثله هذا الغاصب، وأنا أقول له في هذه الثواني لم تستح فافعل ما شئت، تحمل حقائبك وتخرج من هذه القاعة بعد أن رأيت ردة الفعل من كل البرلمانات الشريفة في العالم. اخرج الآن من القاعة إن كان لديك ذرة من الكرامة. يا محتل، يا قتلة الأطفال.
The world knows, everybody, but you give Israel all your money. But the world knows they're genocidal maniacs and complete psychopaths. Yep. I'm going to say it. They are monsters, psychopaths, sociopaths, and it's all caught in video. So how the fuck are you going to deny it? How can you say I'm anti-Semitic when it's all on video? Their prime minister is wanted for war crimes. Yeah, war crimes. But we're just going to ignore that just because we're all bought and paid for? No. Who do you think's eating all your babies?